Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parindam Vande Guru Paramparam Sakanavavadu Sakana Punaktu Sakaviryan Karavavage Tejasvina Vadidamastumavat Vishavage Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namaskar. So sorry we missed the last few classes. Ideally, Upanishads should be taken, studied every day to maintain the momentum. Unfortunately, we only have weekly classes and I missed a couple of classes. So sorry about that. So we left at the verse 11 of the Isavasya Upanishad. 11, and we just approached 12. I'll give a very quick recap because the next from say, in fact, the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which I aim to finish it today, is end block talks about karmanishta. It is, as usual, it is given in a very paradoxical language. Without the Shankara's Avadharika Bhashyam, as a prelude, it is very difficult for us to understand. Doesn't matter if you don't understand it fully because the gist is what we need to have. But we'll attempt. So, the essence of Vedas, as Bhagavan said, is to recognize, realize Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Ishvara Na Paraha. What does it mean? Brahman, the absolute Brahman, is absolute truth. Everything else is Mithya. Mithya means not absolute truth, but relative reality, which means it will come and go, imperishable. Perishable, not imperishable. Not eternal. Changing. The third formula he said was, but any manifestation, be it a jiva or be it Ishvara, a macrocosm or microcosm, jivo Ishvara na paraha. They are identical. In other words, this Shankara's quote of 3 phrases, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Ishvara na paraha, is in the Shanti Pada Purnamata Purnamita. Now, this is not something very easily understandable for us. But out of Shraddha, we take it as the truth that we are aiming for. If that is the case, there is nothing other than me. Isavasya, nothing other than the God. If there is nothing other than the God, I can't be myself. I have to be the God particle. See, we don't say Hinduism shows lots of gods. We also say there is only one God. When you come to Vedanta, it says there is only God. You see the elevation of it. Everything is God. Everything is God and everywhere is God. Therefore, God is the only thing. Isavasya. So if I understand that, And if I can maintain that all the time, that is Nishta. See, this understanding, this Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Isho, Jivo Ishvara Paraga is a Brahma Jnanam, Brahma Vidya. This is Brahma Jnana. Then between Ishvara and myself, the Paramatma and Jivatma, between the ocean and the wave, what is common, even though they are very different, different power, different Nama Rupam, I cannot be Ishvara. Ishvara is all powerful, omniscient. I am limited. Like a little drop of ocean and the ocean. They're different. But they are of the water. Jalatattva. Both are made of water. Therefore, if you look at the underlying adharam for that is Atma Tattva. Paramatma Tattvam, Jiva Tattva. Parama means a supreme Atma Tattvam. Jiva is embodied Atma Tattvam. But Atma is the same. So when we understand this, it's called Atma Vidya, Atma Jnana. Brahma Jnanam and Atma Jnanam are exactly the same. The Brahma Jnanam, we are looking at equating everything into the Brahman. In Atma Jnanam, which is the tapas, I try myself to understand I am no different than the Ishvara. Now, if I get the Brahma Jnanam and Atma Jnanam, I understand it, study it, then I forget it, then it is not effective. This Jnanam is not something difficult. Naturally, inherently, we know this. That's the reason why even the death, even though it's fearful, after 10 days of death of somebody, we don't care. Go on. Because we know we will never die. This inherently we know we are eternal, Ishwaram, Ishwara Tattvam, Atma Tattvam. But to be on that all the time is called Jnana Nishta. How can we be on that all the time? You can be on all the time, provided you are in the Ishvara Bhava. In other words, you see divinity in everything, including yourself, and you see oneness in everything. Therefore, there is nothing to give up. If at all you've given up your world, your own thinking, your ahampav, your ego, your perceptions, your limitedness. Tena tyaktena bunchita. This is what you sacrifice, you give it away. This is called a nivritti marga. Nivritti means generally sannyasa marga, right? Giving up everything. Yeah? And it frightens us, When it comes to Vedantam, they say sannyas. Shankara never gives the opportunity, misses opportunity. He always says why sannyasam is important. And then we have a fear in our mind that I am not ready to give up everything and go. Giving the material things away is a process. It is a sadhana. But that is not sannyasam. Sannyasam is the complete giving up is, what can you give up? If you give up this world, where do I go? I go to Himalayas. It's a place of dwelling. Nothing you can give up. Therefore, it is sannyasam does not mean you run away from your dwellings. You do that as a sadhana. But you realize giving up is giving up this jiva bhavam, giving up my ego. When you give up, you don't get, but you become Ishwaratvam, Atma Bodham. So the Nivritti Margam is what is proposed in the very first mantra. Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagate. So you never forget this. This Upanishad, this Mahamantram, Mahavakyam is all that we need. Then we said, because I am not in a position to grasp it, even if I grasp it, I'm not in a position to be on the nishta on it. You see, jnanam must become a vijnana. Vijnana means the application of knowledge. What's the point of knowing something but you can't put to use? But when you put to use all the time, it's called a nishta. So when I said to my guru, I understand, but I am not there yet. What is the way for me? Then the Upanishad said, Kurvanneva karmani jijivishet sadrakum sama, the second verse. Okay, what do? You do the karmas, what you're supposed to do. Karmas to live in this embodied world, make happiness to you, to others, do the righteous stuff. Do on. Go on, keep on doing it. Ask God that you live that for 120 years, which is your maximum embodied life. When you come back to the new bodies, continue to do this. Keep on doing it. Then your question will come, okay, if I do this, what about connection to my first mantra? Isavasya Upanishad. So that's what take me to moksha. Will it take me to the moksha? What is moksham? If you take moksham is becoming nobody, just merge with something big. Just frightens us, right? If I am something big, I am part of something, I have no awareness of what I am. No, that is not said. You can be part, you can be whole. You can be a worm, you can be a snake, you can be a man, you can be a deva, you can be a Brahma. But moksha means you are free. You are free from everything. Because why? Because I don't have Jiva Bhava anymore. I have no attachment to this. I am a witnessing Sakshi. Like a movie, I watch this world. Nothing affects me. But am I not enjoying it? Yes. Am I not suffering like others suffering? Yeah. I act the suffering. I act the happiness. Heart of heart, I know. This is I'm paying monopoly. I'm winning and losing. That is freedom. Then I can be anything. Samsara nivritti is not being born, but not being born without your control. We don't know why we take this body. We have no control. Our mind drove us to this body. Because mind, I have no control. Mind tells me to do, I do. That is samsara. But when I am able to differentiate myself as a witnessing Atma, in me, in you, in everywhere, I am Sarvatma, who cares who I am? I may be a worm, I may be an ant, I may be a scavenger, I may be just washing somebody's shoes. I am free. Siddha Pragyan, Svatantra. Only to prove this, all the avatars came. Rama suffered a lot. Rama cried like a baby when Sita is gone. But is he actually crying? No. That dukkham, that sukham, it is not eternal, to show that he enacted that. And why I say this, why we say this to Rama? Because he stood that path of dharma. Krishna, of course, we don't want to say. So, with this understanding, we approach the second verse. The third verse, Asurya Nama Loka, the Guru said, if you neither follow the Jnana Nishta nor follow the Karma Nishta, then you become doomed in the darkness of the samsara, asura. Then verse 4 to verse 8 was Jnana Nishta Vivaranam, expansion of what is Atma. We saw that. Again, paradoxically, moves not moves, sits not sits, magical words. Then we come to the Karma Nishta. This is what we need. Now, the question I have is, therefore, if I take the Karma Nishta, I do the karmas, do I get moksham? If I get moksham like this, then I don't need jnana. Jnanameva kaivalyam is not really true. Of course, many scriptures, many schools, many interpretations of the scriptures, many schools do associate something called a krama mukti to be moksha. Krama mukti is not moksha. Krama mukti is, I would say, a gradation in your evolution. Like devas are immortal. If they're immortal, why are they worried? Why Indra is always worried? Because he's not immortal. He's compared to Naras, human beings, he lives longer. Like for the ants and the worms, we are immortal. Because ants live for what? 1 day, 2 days? Everything is mortal. Therefore, this karma upasana is not going to give you moksha. It's going to give you krama mukti. That means it's going to evolve you in the passage of time to enjoy whatever you want to enjoy and bring back to the position of verse 1 that you have seen through all. Now your mind is sat buddhi you have. You will say, Isavasyam idam sarvam. There you go. So that's the process you're going to go. To do that, you must understand what is karma. You know what is karma is, right? Karma is action. But we don't here mean what I call the pashu karma, not the action of me teaching or me working, me being a driver for somebody to earn my livelihood. No. Yeah, laukika karma or pashu karma. That means what you do to survive in this world. Here we are talking about Vaidika karma. That is, how do I survive in this world rightfully, righteously, and also in the other worlds. In the Upanishad, we are going to use a different word for this. Karma is called avidya. There's the reason why, Upanishad is not something you can learn from a dictionary or book. You need a teacher to teach, and great bhashikaras like others, commentary you must study, understand. The Upanishad text says avidya means karma. Why it's called avidya? Because you do karma to attain bhogam. Now, whatever we are going to discuss now is called sakama karma. You're doing karma with a desire to enjoy life, to enjoy benefits. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel that I have to do nishkama karma. You can't do nishkama karma very easily. Kamya karma is fine. But we change the approach of kamya karma and slowly we will give up the kamya. So anything you do material action, what is the Vaidika karma you do with avidya? All the yajna you do, pujas, abhishekas to thing, kumbhabhishekam to temple, breaking coconuts, artis, bhajans, everything you do to worship a god, guru, all this called karmas, and they are called avidya. Very difficult to digest, okay? Just be with me, because we are all used to that normal word. Avidya means ignorance. But we are in a different level, In a kindergarten, statement is very different. When you come to the primary school, it's very different. So all this gross form of worshipping the god, demigod, everything, yajnas, rituals, those karmas are called avidya karma, avidyas. What happens if I do that? And how do I do this? We know that kayena vacha manasyendrayeva. Your kayam, your body, your words, your mind, supported by the indriyas. That's how you do the action. You know, there's a famous one. Kayena vacha manasyendrayeva buddhyatmanava prakrute swabhavat. Swabhavam means your natural instinct, your natural ability is to do karmas. You can't do without karmas. Everybody does karma. Your body, your words, your mind, supported by the indriyas and buddhis. Very important word in this simple sloga. What is that? Buddhyatmanava prakruteye swabhavat. Prakruti. Kayena prakriti. Vak prakriti. Manas prakriti. Indriya prakriti. Buddhi prakriti. What is this prakriti? Remember the Patanjali Yoga Sutram, Sankhya Darshana we said in the Vedanta Darshana class. Prakriti is that insentient power of Ishvara, the material cause of everything else. In Vedanta, we call it Maya Shakti, Shuddha Maya in Saivism, Adi Narayani in Vaishnava. The mother, the material cause of everything else, is what creates your body. So when I do with my body, I can say, I do with my Prakriti. When I do with my Vak, I do with my Vak Prakriti, Manas Prakriti. You know, sometimes when somebody is not doing any work, lazy, you know, we used to say, look at the Prakriti, you know, we say that. Prakriti means inert, full of inertia, but all-encompassing. Because it's inert, avidya. So all the actions we do, Vedanta puts into avidya category. But what is then vidya? We say Sri Vidya, Vidya Upasana. It is also karma. Here the one kaya, the body part, walk is take a secondary role or not even involved. Only the mind is involved and the buddhi is involved. And you do the worship is called upasana. Upa means near or supreme asana, the great seat. You are very close to what you are aiming to achieve. But remember, upasana is also a karma. Upasana is not karma and upasana. No, karmopasana. If you do with your body, words, and of course, mind is involved all the time. Gross, it's karma. If you only do with your mind, it's called upasana. And Vedanta calls it vidya. So the vidya is subtle in nature because it's involved with the mind. Example, you do a Rama Japam, Dhyanam, Gayatri Japam. When you do the Sri Rudra Parayanam and after some time you contemplate on your mind Sri Rudra's form. Rama Karnamrita Mantram, you listen to all this and when you go back and bring into your mind, Upasana. So Karma and upasana. The 2 points. What we have to understand, why the difference comes in. Because when you do karmas, here the karma means gross karmas, not upasana karma, physical karmas, rituals we do. What is the prayojanam of that? What is the prayojanam of upasana? So if you look at this whole thing is a prakriti. Prakriti is all the jagat is a prakriti. Jadam. Undefinable. Anilvachaniyam. Maya Shakti. If you take any material, if you just decompose it, go internally, atomize it, quantize it, finally it will achieve inexplicable energy, prakriti. The energy converts to mass and creates motion, the whole thing goes. So prakriti is there. In this prakriti, we have the earth, the Bhumandala, where we live. You can assume this is the earth or everything that you see, all the cosmos where you can see physically. Oh, there is no animals, no light beings is living in Mars. We don't know. We don't know. We don't see anybody like us. We don't know what is living there. We don't know. But for this conversation, take everything that you can see gross is Bhu. You know, you heard this Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Om Bhur, Bhuva, Swa. So there are actually different domains of experiences, different domains of dwellings. Take it as a concept right now. Okay? So the Bhu, Bhuva, Swa is called Vyakritis. That means embellishment or a loci where you can reside and experience life. Bhu, Bhuva, Swa. The Bhuva can be taken as the world of mains, Pitralokam. The Swa as a Swargalokam. So these three we normally say because all the rituals would allow you to migrate, transmigrate across these three, provided we do the karmas accordingly. We just park the Isavasya for a minute. We park the moksham for a minute because we are in a karma margam, pravritti margam. Pravritti is generating wealth, prosperity, enjoying it, you know. You can go from A to Z in one go, or you can take a bus trip, a train trip, a trekking, bit of a suffering on the way, bit of enjoyment on the way. This is pravritti margam. So the karmas help you to do these three plates, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. By doing good karmas, we can do the Pitralokam, and doing even good karmas, you can achieve Swargalokam, you can become a Deva. To transcend that, beyond that, karma alone is not going to help you because they have become more subtle. You have upasanas. I'm not going to go into the details of this world and everything. Maha, Tapa, Brahma, Satya, all this. Think all this as a dwelling place of higher order. For that you need upasana. Upasana is only will take you beyond that place. So what happened after this Satya, Brahma, Satya Logam, all these 7 logas? Of course, if you don't do all this, if you do Papa Karma, you go these 6 more down there, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala logas. They will just give you imagination. But if I keep on doing it, I can also go to what's called the Prakriti Laya. What does it mean? Shankara uses this phrase very beautifully. This migration from one world to other happens, but we all come back to the earth either to go up or come down. That's why it's called Karma Bhumi. The Karma Bhumi, Narajanmam, is the only Janma which has got this understanding. The consciousness has opened up. See, the Prakriti is inert, but the movements happen, everything, reactions happen because there is a Chaitanyam behind it. The Chaitanyam is what illuminating everything else. So therefore, two tattvas, all this is Vedas are doing only for us to understand. There's only single, Advaitam, Ekam Advaitam. Sun is different, not different from the light. But for understanding, there's a Prakriti or Maya Shakti, Shuddha Maya, like a big egg. The Hiranyam for the egg is coming from the illumination of the Brahman. If you take the Prakriti as the mother, Ishvara is the father. The Bijam is what given to this mother, not by physically, but by Sankalpam. That causes the creation of this world. We will not go into that right now, but just understanding for this purpose. Therefore, in all the Prakriti's creation, in all this Jagat, in all the embodiments, there must be a trace of what? Chaitanya. Therefore, any being can be seen as Chetanam and Achetanam. Chetanam is a Prakriti part. Chetanam is the Ishvara part. So if you, what is the Prakriti does? It basically creates this womb, produces these worlds. She's a playful mother. And then everything goes to sleep. The Prakriti lion is everything is submerged and it is sleeping. Why? Nobody knows. Then the Prakriti creates again, all in the presence of the Ishvara. This pralayam, srishti, samhara, it happens continuously. In the Perpetual Physics Institute in Canada, it's a beautiful theory they made. They look at the point of singularity to go. How can you go? If you take a Big Bang, it's banged. You don't believe in Big Bang, but if you take Big Bang happen as the initial phase of life, Vedanta believes there are a lot of Big Bangs all the time. They are all within the Prakriti. But if you take the Big Bang is one single point where the time started, just for imagination, we take it. And if you want to go to that point of singularity, the theory of everything, can you go? This is what the physical models and the empirical models and the formulas scientists are trying to work out. But this institute came with a wonderful mathematical model saying that why you can never reach that. You can go to the point of singularity and then it ripples back. Like a balloon, When you have the balloon, it opens up. When you crush it, you can't crush it to a point. It comes to a point and stops there. And it ripples back. Ripples back. So that contraction to the Brahman and repelling back creates a motion of on and off, on and off. That's a very pulse of our breathing, very pulse of our heart. That is what the resonance, that is what the Damara of Lord Shiva, and they say, the very beat of it, the fundamental frequency, the oscillating frequency happens from there, the dance of Nataraja. Now when it happens, it collapses and brings back a Manvantram is defined. 4 Chatur Yugas, we are in the Kali Yuga, there are 4 yugas, and if there are 72 yugas, it's called one Manvantram. And like that, it goes in 72 Manvantrams. Like this, it goes. I don't remember the numbers exactly. But every time when one cycle is finished, Brahma's life ends for many. Then a new Brahma comes in. New thing starts. So from the new Brahma to the next new Brahma, it's a Prakriti Laya. In between, there's a line. Now, why I'm laboring all this point? So when I am doing karmas, pravritti margas, karmopasana, I am able to travel to many different embodiments, different dwellings, even stay with Indra and Brahma, even become a Brahma. But I will come back again to the Bhuloka. Because this is still an entrapment, but you are in a different enjoyment, but it is not liberation. Then you may say, okay, I don't want to jump this different world. I would rather straightly go to the Prakriti Laya and sleep. You can do. What the Upanishad says, well, you can skip all those things, go straight and sleep in the Prakriti Laya. What does it mean? It means I'm in a deep sleep, in a long-standing coma. When I say coma, you don't like it, right? But sleep, you like it, because sleep is a healer. Every day we love to go to sleep. Our system is wired to go to sleep. Sleep takes away the problems. Like forgetting things is a blessing, right? Sleeping is a blessing. What happens in sleep? What happens to your world? Gone. You are not a man or a woman. You don't even know. Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaisya, don't care. Black, white, don't care. Cancer, heart attack, piles, diabetic. No, nothing. Because I am free from all these prakritis. My mayas are gone. My worlds are gone. So it is the compassionate mother gives us every day a blessing. Enough, child, you have suffered in this world of Maya, take rest. Only to get up next day, go back and continue to do it. If you take that way, you see, sleeping is a blessing. But can I therefore sleep all the time? If sleep all the time, it's as good as sleeping in the Prakriti all the time. I don't have any problems because I sleep all the time. Is it moksha? No. It is dukkha nivritti. Dukkha nivritti is, say, sometimes we say shoka vinasa karanam is moksha. We say that in Vedanta, we say sometimes, but everything has got a tatparyam. Let's go inside. Shoka vinasham is an attribute of moksha. Sukha prapti is an attribute of moksha. But jnanam, that I am free of fear. I am free of tragedy. I am full of fulfillment. When you are aware, then you are liberated. Otherwise, you are liberated from the grief momentarily, but you are not even aware that you are free. You see the difference? So therefore, if all this karma upasana, which the mantra is going to explain to you now, can give you wonderful things. Not only this, getting this, going to different loka, because when you go to different lokas, you get different siddhis, ashtama siddhis, like manima, lahima, garima. Bhagavan Anjaneya showed in Sundaragandam, right? You read it, you become small, big. All this we can achieve. Patanjali says very shakily and hard. He said you remember in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he said, you will attain all this kind of yogas, siddhis, live the fools. Okay. So what happens when you do this upasana? You attain this transformation in your mental makeup. Upasana means focusing on the mind. Now, how do I do upasana? Suppose I take, I am a Krishna upasana. So what I do, I take a Krishna vigraham. I focus on the object, or maybe Rama vigraham, or Shivalingam, whatever your Ishta Devata. You look at it, you decorate it, you think about it all the time, you do worship on it. And then slowly, when you're doing it, when you look at it and your mind is engrossed with this, mind is focused on it, you achieve what is called Savitarka Samabhati. It's just a reminder of your Patanjali Yoga Sutra classes we did last year. Savitarka Samadhi or Savitarka Samabhati is when your mind is blessed, fulfilled, when you are worshipping the Vigraham of your Priya. Then what happens when you are doing that to the puja, you do arti, then you just close the eyes, the Vigraham is in your mind, you still worship it, and your focus becomes a lot more deeper. It's called Nirvitarka. Vitarka means a difference. You're doing a karma. You're doing karma of worshipping the God. You do the Vigraha Puja. When the Vigraha Puja, when your mind is also involved, Upasana also comes in there. The Vigraham is important for you, looking at it. It's a Vitarkam. When you close your eyes and you get that Vigraham into your mind and you focus on it and you get peace, when you attain that kind of a bliss state, called Nirvitarka. Now you're traveling somewhere and you can't carry the Vigraham, you do this puja. Then what you do in the hotel room, you'll have a bath before go to office. You think of that Vigraham in front of you, if you're able to do it. And if you do that, it's called Savicharam. There's no Vigraham there. In the gross form, you can see. Oh, I can see. The tree, I can see the God. I can see that. And you bring the same idea of rituals, upasana into your mind, and you get a blissful state. The action is not Savicharam. When you do it well and when you get the blissful state, you attain a samadhi, a momentary lapse of your vicharams and dukkhams, peacefulness. It's called Savicharam. And when you do that, and then you go in mentally, what is called Nirvichar. Just a recap. So what is all this is called? These 4 different samadhis that you attain is called Grahya Samabhati. Grahya means object. You need an object, you contemplate, meditate with the gross form and take that gross form to subtle form, and you attain peace, focus, grahya samabhati, object-oriented contemplation. We all need to do this. This is what we do first. So what it means is that when you do the puja, Ganesha Chaturthi coming, when you do the Ganesha puja, it's not some Ganesha, somewhere sitting far away, you're doing puja. You're doing that vigraha so that you can get that into your mind, and then you start worshipping that. The worshipping will become a yagyam inside and gives you peace. Then you evolve. When you evolve and say, look, I need an object. Now I realize I don't need the object. I can actually think of an object in your mind. So I'm improving. But then you inquire. To see an object, to think, I need my instruments of perception. I need my eyes, ears, mouth, nose, my mind. Because they are the one giving me this. Without my hand, I can't make this clay Vinayaka Chaturthi. My Jnanendriyam, Karmendriyams are helping me to do it. So they are, in a way, better than what is given. Is it not? Because my hands is the cause of the prayer I am making. My indriyams are the one that causes that memory. So therefore, I now graduate myself, not worried about this object worship, idol upasana. I started meditating on my sensory organs. It's called grahana sambandhi. Grahana means that which is used to graham. When you do that, as Patanjali says, it's called, in Buddhism, it's also called the mindful living. When you eat or when you take a shower, what do? You go to the shower, put the water there, open it, put the soap, alarm goes on, go to rush to the office, go away. When you have time, when you are leisurely on a Sunday morning, you do shower, enjoy the water touching your body, the skin, the feeling of it. Or when you eat a food doesn't go straight to the tummy, it goes to the mouth. Chew it, smell it, enjoy it. So when you enjoy it, you suddenly find very different. You see that different tastes are coming out, which you never saw before. Suddenly you tell your wife or husband, whoever cooks at home, you are a good cook. He or she has been a good cook all the time. We never had a time to enjoy with a mindfulness to this. The mindfulness means the food takes a secondary role. The sensory organ that is being used is in the focus. How am I tasting it? How I am seeing it? Like when I say these words, when you focus on the word I say, you are grahya sambandhi. You are looking at the object of the words I say. But imagine you are focusing, you are hearing the silence. You're only hearing the silence. My words come and create a disturbance to silence, an interrupt. If you're a programmer, it's called the interrupt-driven protocols. The interruption will come to you. When you are meditating, somebody knocks gently on the door. You say, why are you knocking so loud? He's knocking gently. But you say, it's so loud. What happened? When you're meditating on your hearing faculty, everything is so perfect. Everything is amplified. See? That's why your eye vision, your hearing, all that has got, of course, you had a physical problem. called golakam. Physical problem, you have to go and fit it. But the indriya problem, you can solve by meditation. Yeah. It's called grahana sambandhi. In that case, Patanjali says, if I think of a sweet dish, I feel sweetness in my mouth. After all, taste is your sensation. It needs a chemical reaction or psychological reaction. So you move to sympathy. Then you say, my mind, I was thinking, my senses, who is this my? This is the I. So I turn my contemplation out differently. Before I was doing, oh, Vinayaka, give me this, give me that. Then you say, oh, my senses, who bring my Vinayaka into my mind. Oh, senses, how do I contemplate? Now I go one step ahead and say, who is this contemplator? Who is this person? When I'm sitting there in front of God, I finished the puja, I sit there, I did puja with my hand. My mind is thinking the God. But who is his mind? Whose mind is this? Who am I? So when you start thinking that direction, it's a very dangerous path for a while. But when you get that kind of a bliss, when you start thinking, even the very process of thinking there will give you a pause. Mind become blank. When you do that kind of a dhyanam, called grahatru samabhati, when you become still in that sense, when you come out of it, you don't know what happened, but you are somewhere. You are still. It's called grahatru samabhati. So Upasana has to go through this process. So all this worship of idols and everything, if it stops there, we are not really getting the full benefit of it. It has to move into these steps. All this is called savikalpa samabhati. Vikalpam. Vikalpa means different. What is different? I am different from you. I am different from this God. Triputi is there. Triputi means I, the worshipper, something to be worshipped, and the act of worshipping. All these three. I am the meditator. I am meditating on this Ganesha, this hearing senses, my mind, myself. The objects are there. Savikalpa samabhati. You need to go through this process. But when you achieve this ability to concentrate and focus on yourself, and when you see every time when you upgrade, what happens? When you are physically, you see the Ganesha idol, and mentally the idol is gone. Physically it's gone. When you forget even the idol and think about the concept of Ganesha throne, idol is gone. Then when you think of the principle itself, the mind comes in, thoughts coming. And when you think of ahankara, they go. See, every time you give up something, vikalpa, you're giving away. But when you give up yourself, and I give up myself, what is there? There's a big vacuum. Now, this is why you need to have a guru's kadaksham, guru's guidance to take this path. Because if you don't do upasana, everybody cannot do this without going through this process, because you are rewiring your mind, you're rewiring your thinking. So if you don't do bhakti, shraddha, of course, all this I'm saying for kamya upasana. When you do for nishkamyam, is a different path. We'll not talk about that. Now, with this vacuum, darkness, when you cross it, it's called asamprajnana samabhati or samadhi. Samprajnana means with your own self. When I completely lost myself, it is not like coma. Coma, you don't know you lost yourself. Here, you know you lost. But you can't say I lost it because I lost the I. I am speechless. I am not in a coma. I'm not in a kind of sleep. I am in a kind of a trance, ecstasy, which I cannot explain because I don't exist. Now, if you stop there, like some of the Buddhist disciples have stopped, they think there's nothing there, shunyam. So they stopped there, Mahayanam, Hinayanam. They developed all this tattvams, mindfulness, and everything. But the target is attaining shunyam. Why should I do all this to attain nothingness? No. How is that? I know there is nothingness because there is a seer. That is nirvikalpa samadhi. There is no difference at all. I'm not in a trance because the trance and everything, sleep, trance, everything is only for this prakriti. I am Parabrahman, I'm Ishvara, all dwelling, all glowing, all the time. Nirvikalpam, Isavasyam. Everything is the same. I am the same. So this is how, let me see what's the time here. Okay. So this is how the path takes up. Now I labor this because if you don't get the grasp of it, you will miss the import of this mantras. In summary, what you have to do now, karma is of two types, avidya and vidya. Avidya is rituals, gross rituals, worshipping material objects. Upasana is mental object. When you can choose to do only karma alone. I want to do some, many people are like this. 90% of the people are, oh, I go to the temple, crack the coconut, light the lamp. I donated 10,000 pounds for this Kumbhabhishekam. I put milk on this god. I pray, put my list of requirement, gone. Fine. You're doing karma alone. Some say, look, I don't have money. I don't believe in rituals. I can't do all this. I just go and then every day sit in front of the God and pray. Please make me happy. Give me Swargaloka. All that, whatever I want, I keep in the mind. So I can do Upasana alone. What the Upanishad said, if you do karma alone, you will attain darkness. You don't like it, right? Because karma alone will give you prayojanam, punyam, sukham. Yes. In the Vedanta's point of view, all this is darkness. Because remember, I am getting punya palam, I am born into a millionaire's family next time, but I am still in the egg of samsara. I am eating in a golden plate with golden spoons, only to die and reborn the samsara, the darkness. So you must take it that way. Well, you can say, look, let me first born as a millionaire. Then I think of it. No problem. You can do that. But remember, it is a krama mukti towards Isavasya. Okay. Darkness comes from karma. Upasana should give better. It says Upasana gives you more darkness. Why is this? We saw in the last class. Andam tama pravishanti e vidyam upasate tato bhuya ipate tamo yavu vidyaya taha. What I just now told you in verse 9. If you do karma alone, the word important is eva. Eva is missing, but Shankara gives that one. Karma alone, if you do for your Sukham, you may attain Sukham, but it will be a darkness. Upasana alone you do more darkness. Why? Because Upasana will take you to the higher worlds, Maha, Tapa, Brahmalokam. In the higher world, you get higher powers, higher pleasures. When you have higher bhogam, you'll be far away from jnanam. You'll be indulging on this. So more pleasures means more darkness. That's what it means. How do we know? Who said this? Anyat eva vahur vidyaya ahu avidyaya anyadahu. This is a different benefit for karma, different benefit for upasana. Iti sushruma dhira anam ye tat visachire. This is what the seers have told us. The gurus have told us. So this is how the pramadam goes in. There is no way the guru can prove it to you. His guru has told him. I cannot prove it to you. You cannot prove it to anybody else. But this is what you need to take it in faith, because this is experienced, realized. So what is the gist of it, mantra? Do karma, you will get karma palam. But if you do karma alone, the karma palam will put you in darkness. You can do upasana, different types of upasana, I told you. You can do upasana. Upasana will give you powers, but it will put you in more darkness. Because more power you have, more damage you cause to yourself, more darkness. So what is the course of action? It says, what you have to do, why don't you do both? Do both karma and upasana together. What does it mean? It says, vidyam cha yaha tat yedo bhayat saha avidyaya mrityam tyetva vidyaya amrutam ashnute. Vidyam cha avidyam cha. Here avidya means karma, vidya means upasana. Yaha, whoever, tat ubayam saha. Together if you do it, what happened? Avidyaya mrityum tyetva. With the karmas that you do, you will transcend death. What does it mean? When you do karma alone, you get happiness. Upasana alone, you get some happiness. But when you do together, you transcend death. Shankara translated this death to be death due to anaishvaryam. Anaishvaryam means not having aishvaryam, not having the power, not having the shakti to have abhayam. To be, to be dina, to be a beggar, to be limited by your swadhina buddhi. The impediments to do Veda karmas will go away. In other words, this mrityu is going back again and again to do the same material karmas to gain the same benefits. That is death. But it will now elevate you. This impediment is no good. You need to move forward. It is open the door ajar for you. And the Amritatvam is immortality. The immortality is not liberation, but a longer life in the worlds that you live. So how do I use the longer life if it is dark? Well, In the longer life, you have karma neva, kurvan neva karmani. Keep continuing to do. What does Vasishta do, Vyasa do in their lokas? They just do penance. What does Shivaganas do in Kailasha? They do penance. God is in front of them. Why are they doing penance? Because they are still different. They're not reached the God. Dasatvam, Sevatvam. So when you are serving the God, serving anybody gives you peace and happiness. But still, it is not freedom. Because you still have to worship, still have to serve. Be it the Lord. Even Lord doesn't like that. Because when you are doing, of course, God likes, you saw that Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, different kinds of bhaktas. Dasa, the one who surrenders to his feet, he likes them most, right? But he likes them, who he likes more? Most is the one who knows the truth of Atma Tattvam. But you cannot go there without surrendering it, because surrendering gives you the grace that God lends to you. Anubhuti has to come. Therefore, you need to surrender to God. So, the immortality means a long life is to give you a longer time to do the penance. Now, I've done it again, taking too much time because I wanted to finish 12, 13, 14. I have not even gone to 12. But this gives you a good background to 12, 13, 14 is easy. So I have to extend one more class. So what we saw today, I'll promise you next time I won't labor you like this. We took three mantras. Three mantras are about the karma nishta. Karmas are karmas and upasanas together. If you do karma alone, you get some benefit, material benefit, that puts in a darkness of not realizing the truth. The more you are away from the truth, more darker you are, more punished you are in the samsara. If you do upasana, you get even higher benefits, immortality, ashtama siddhis, but they all put you in a even more darkness because you start enjoying more those kind of benefits. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to have a story. Somebody has did a lot of penance, and after 8 years of tapas, he goes to Ramakrishna and say, "Look, I have attained a siddhi." "What is that you attained?" "And I can walk on the water." Krishna said, "Oh fool, how you wasted your life. If you give him 20 paise, the boatman will take you to transform the water. Do you need a siddhi for it?" So all the siddhis that comes like this are completely wasted in the bigger picture of your evolution in a human pursuit. So we saw that. So karma and upasana are two different paths, but advice is to do them together. At least it gives you a betterment because it will make you to go towards the next step. How to do it together? Every ritual should be backed up by, or in other words, every ritual should be built upon the mental contemplation, the dhyanam, Ishvara dhyanam, Omkara dhyanam. My Ishta Devata is Krishna, Krishna Puja, Rama, Rama Puja, Ganesha, Ganesha Puja, Shakti, Shakti Puja. Fine. But all these are coming into the Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, coming into the one part. The Ishvara merges with the Brahman. The only way I can address the Brahman is Om. Therefore, I do the puja with the Om, end the puja with the Om. Therefore, I know I am meditating upon the Parabrahman. So I do the Brahmopasana, Brahma Upasana. Now, when you do that way, this darkness will lead to the light. to the dawn. So next class we see the 12, 13, 14. Then one more class we'll have the 15 to 18 to finish it off. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnameva Vasishyate
Purnameva Vasishyate
Vasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om
Om
Shanti
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 Hari
Shanti
Om Tat Sat
Hari
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raja sir. Thank you, Balaji.